I translate documents, and these documents are mainly designed for specific meetings which take place here in the Palais or in the Palais Wilson in Geneva on a particular day and a particular time, a particular group of people, and these documents are essential to the effective running of those meetings. There is an initial requirement of timeliness, because obviously these meetings are going to take place at a certain time and the documents have to be ready for that meeting, and often of course well in advance of that meeting, because the participants need to read, to consider the documents in some depth for those meetings to be effective. There's also of course a requirement of accuracy, because if you imagine that the participants in the meeting will be using up to 6 different languages, the official languages of the United Nations, each of them working with a document in that language, then obviously it is critical that those documents all produce the same effect in the readers in those different languages. Otherwise the meetings will soon degenerate into chaos and misunderstanding. And the other important thing I think to bear in mind is readability, that these documents, particularly for documents which are translated into English or drafted in English, that they have to be accessible to a wide, broad public, some of whom have English as their native language, but most of whom do not, and will have varying degrees of knowledge of English. So they have to be accessible to all those people, which is a very delicate balance to keep, because the document has to read for a native speaker as a well-produced, clear piece of English, but which at the same time is easy for a non-native speaker with a perhaps not necessarily a very high command of English to understand.